In the past, there were several methods of teaching, but the most method was used in the whole education institution is lecturing, due to the number of teachers. At that time, the number of students were a lot. The teachers were depend on the lecture method and used the green board to write on it, and the students should listen. The teaching methods at that time was almost non-existent because of lack of resource. The learning and teaching materials in TVET was very hard to the student and teacher because the tools they used was difficult to handle. Not like smartboard, green board, and box. It is very old tools. The absence of latest computer devices and the very old teaching ways. As I said in the past, the learning and teaching materials was difficult, so the elders tried to keep up with every update within the network community. It was a hard way to follow. In the past, media in classroom were simple. Media in classroom were whiteboard, overhead projector, and poster. Teacher used whiteboard to write a lot of information to the students about the lesson. It was a hard way to memorize the lesson. And overhead projector, the teacher used to make the picture bigger and the student can show clear. In addition, it was used in a lab and classroom. Teachers depend on the posters to explain a complex picture or graph to the students. The posters include both text and graphic. The most method used nowadays a lot like storytelling, lecturing, class discussion, group work and active learning. These methods are the most methods used and some of these methods are old but still used until now. Some of new methods will directly impact if some of the technology stop working. That means some of new methods depend on the technology as a technique. There are a lot of media that used in a classroom, and each subject has a specific media that used to help the students. Nowadays, teachers use a smartboard, blackboard, application, projector, and computers. A smartboard is a consist of the whiteboard with a teaching screen. Also, the teacher uses a smartboard to display presentations for explaining the lesson. In addition, using a smartboard for writing some point about the lesson. The blackboard is provide for student and teacher access to the electronic copy of the materials recorded in the academic system and thought. The teaching methods will be different than now because the technology nowadays is developed very fast and the equipments of teaching depend on the technology. So, in the future, we will have a new kind of methods like virtual teaching or virtual college. The teaching methods in the future cannot work without technology and the other equipments that depend on the computers. This kind of teaching method are exist but not apply into now because this kind of method is need a lot of time to study it and find solution for its problems. This kind of method will take or make a very big change in the all education institution. This method will be very helpful for a student to make a review for the class at home. The education will improve and media in classroom will develop. The education will depend on the technology in the future. So, when the technology explosion, the media in classroom will improve with the technology. Therefore, there will be interactive walls, interactive desks, and virtual reality. Interactive walls will remove the whiteboard from the classroom. The future is inevitable. In the future, we hope the education will become more fun and interesting and have more technologies. So, the students can improve their skills because in the future they will be a teacher. Also, in the future, the education will have developed and the students will understand the subject very well and do the homework by technologies by themselves at home, and they will use the technology like interactive wall, interactive desks, and virtual reality.